Also, we have the privilege of having with us, Babu, and also
good morning,
Morning. And also Abna Mango is here with us.
Again, who is
Abna Mango. The owner, the accused person, together with the other co-accused,
yes,
were arrested yesterday in some.
No, I need to.
I just want to bring some things to fore.
You are raising an objection to the plea, so that
I want to bring some things to fore.
Yes.
Yeah, so that the court appreciate what happened, the circumstances.
And I want to understand, also, you know the procedure of plea taking.
Yeah.
Unless you are objecting to the plea, that is when I can allow you. If you are not objecting to the plea can be taken and you raise your issues.
It's okay.
Proceed,
Marty
to
to
judge.
Your Honor.
Proceed, the judge.
It's a charge of obstructing operation of motor vehicles on a road, contract section 58C of the Kenya Roads Act, chapter 408 laws of Kenya, particularly Dennis Kimani on the 7th day of July 2026 along City Hall Way in Nairobi City, County within the Republic of Kenya, jointly with others not before court, and lawfully operation of vehicles along the said City Hall Way by barricading the said road using stones, thereby obstructing free flow of traffic. Is it true or false?
It's not true.
And the propensity of the nature of the issues that happened yesterday. Your Honor, I'll bring forth before this honorable court the ruling that was made by Justice Bahati, who sat just in these premises, and in his holding, Your Honor, he affirmed that where police officers are out to enforce aspects pertaining to protests, the police officers must be in full uniform gear. Secondly, the Honorable Judge affirmed that the police must not cover their faces. Thirdly, that the police must have clear labels that gives or depicts their numbers and names. Fourthly, Your Honor, that the number plates of the police officers must be clearly labeled. Your Honor, what happened yesterday is not short of an abduction. The police officers who handled them were in civilian attire. The number plates were either hidden or none at all. Your Honor, this court cannot be used to rubber stamp such irregularities. Your Honor, furthermore, Article 28 of the Constitution 2010 provides for the inherent dignity of all Kenyans. Your Honor, these honorable Kenyans cannot be equated to cabbages where they are being bundled in boots of vehicles. Yet, the prosecutor is here marshalling these innocent Kenyans before this court and them being told to take a plea on what is visibly an abduction. Your Honor, we are asking that people should not just be abducted and brought before this court. Can those who arrested, in quotes, in total disregard of the ruling by Justice Bahati, be told to appear before this court? We need to know who they are. They cannot just do nasty things behind the scene and throw the ball to the prosecutor here. Your Honor, it's high time that this court flex its muscle and not be used as a towel to wipe dirt. Your Honor, will be seeking a direction on that. Mheshimiwa, I don't that.
Good morning once again, Your Honor.
Morning.
Appearing for the accused person. Your Honor, Article 49(1)(h) of the Constitution talks about the right to admission of bail, and further Article 52(a) also talks about innocence of the accused person until proven otherwise or contrary is proven. And Your Honor, these rights don't just disappear because power is uncomfortable. We have a tendency, Your Honor, that we've been dealing with for so many days now, years, Your Honor, that Article 37 of the Constitution on a right to peaceably protest has been reduced to nothing, Your Honor. Every time Kenyans protest as of a right, a constitutional right, they are arrested, arraigned before these competent courts of law, obstruction, Your Honor. Obstruction of motor vehicles, causing obstruction, Your Honor. Yesterday, they blocked, and it was very visible, using barbed wires, stones. So, Your Honor, do not allow your court to be used to clean the dirt from the state. And we pray, Your Honor, that the accused person be admitted to reasonable bail terms, and I refer you to the miscellaneous criminal case 2026 to E365 of 2026. Honorable Nyalinya. 10 days ago, Your Honor, when were charged with obstruction of motor vehicles, the same charge that our client is suffering, is charged with, and there were over 200 accused persons who were released, some on personal bond and some they were released at a cost of 1,000 Kenya shillings. Your Honor, the Supreme Court of the United States of America in Bearden versus Georgia, US 660 .672 to 73 of 1983, and I read it verbatim. It has been reaffirmed that there can be no equal justice where the trial a man gets depends on the amount of money, and therefore, Your Honor, giving a higher bail amounts to denial of bail. And bond and bail policy of this court, Your Honor, of the court stipulates that bail should be issued in a manner that it does not punish before trial. Because at any time, Your Honor, the accused person remains innocent until the contrary is proven. And liberty cannot be sacrificed at the altar of administrative justice. After all this, Your Honor, we will ask ourselves a very simple question.
That's it.
That did law bend before power, or did power bow before the law?
That's it.
Lastly, Your Honor, Section 4 of the DPP Act, the guiding principle, states that the DPP should be guided by the Constitution and the following fundamental principles. Number 1, rules of natural justice. Number 2, promotion of public confidence. And number 3, to serve the cause of justice and prevent abuse of the legal process. Your Honor, the charge before you, when innocent Kenyans express their grievances in the streets as a way of peaceably protesting and protected by Article 37, clearly shows you that the charge before you, Your Honor, is a waste of the court's time, waste of the judicial time and resources, Your Honor. We should not be here talking about obstructing motor vehicles, Your Honor. Honestly, we should be doing better things, building the nation. These Kenyans, by now they could have transacted and they could have paid tax to the nation instead of being held here overnight. These are things that can be dealt with at the police station, Your Honor. So therefore,
Yes.
stamp authority, Your Honor. under shame, power, and the devil. Thank you, Your Honor.
In brief, so that we move a little bit faster, Council, because and I hope so that we save a little bit of time, because we have some hearings to do. I want to believe that submission you are making will relate to the rest, so that
yes, Your Honor.
So, Council, in brief, and ask that you don't repeat what your colleagues have said, so that you save time. Proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Your Honor, I will not actually be submitting much, so that the court has already chosen to adopt our submissions. Your Honor, this clearly relates to the ones that we have yet to be read to 4 Kenyans whose personalities are well known. In fact, just the other day, 2 of them were abducted subsequent to the demonstrations that were held on 25th. And are still on medical treatment. I'm being informed that one Dixon still has a bandage on his hand that is well sick, so he's still on his recovery. But yesterday when I was barricaded, I had to see, he has no shoes. I saw his shoes. I hope they are still around Arambe Avenue. Black sport shoes. He has no shoes. He's very barefooted. He has come at the feet of justice. I'm being told by Mr. Boy that he hopes that it will be introduced as exhibit. Mr. Mbeki, Your Honor, is equally limited. And is still that they failed were well narrated to the nation on one of the major networks last week on Sunday, so I do not want to belabor what Your Honor. The attention of this court and probably of the decision, as a ruling in High Court petition E389 of 2025.
Petition number
E389 of 2025. Katiba Institute versus Kenya. Your Honor, I've had a cursory look at the charge sheet that the 4 accused persons face this before this honorable court, which relates to the obstruction of traffic and road, and it has now become a modus operandi of the state of now an infamous, they're now calling it the Iron Dome, the Kenyan Iron Dome, that is electric, the barbed wire on roads. In effect, they themselves in their own actions obstructing the said traffic that the 4 innocent Kenyans are being accused of. Your Honor, there was barely any movement in the city yesterday, as was witnessed by Kenyans all over the country. And most Kenyans could not even attend to work based on the said actions. Your Honor, I'd like to read paragraph 9, what Justice Mugambi held. And gave orders that pending hearing and determination of the petition, a conservatory order is issued restraining the first respondent, read the Inspector General of Police, or any other officer subordinate to him from mounting barricades, police roadblocks that block entry of members of public from accessing the central business district within Nairobi County or streets within the central business district or any other public road without issuing a timely advisory notice prior to the emergency barricade of roads to allow the citizens of public to plan their activities accordingly. So that in as much as the state were claiming yesterday that they had received no notice, as citizens we had equally had received no notice either that they will be erecting barricades, road they were alleging. But there is a notice in place. I'm being informed that there is a the planned witnesses, that is PC Duncan Simba, PC Sostin Chichani, and others to be stated, should equally come ready at the time of trial with their notice as to barricading of the said roads. Your Honor, that would be all. Your Honor, I'm being told we're being joined by 3 other counsels because I'm just introducing them.
Yes, I will restrict submissions because I gave you priority. Yes. Because I rarely take plea before hearings. So I don't want us to, because we may then consume times for hearings. So just introduction.
I'm placing them on record so that history can be kind of
let me note the presence. Mr.
That is Mr. Rubin. Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Kisoyo.
Good morning.
Mr. JW. Good morning.
Mr. Again, the last
JW Oruko. Yeah, we are most obliged by you.
State. Spence and also you are brief for us so that we please have time for us.
First and foremost, the state has no objection to the accused person being granted reasonable bond terms. Just a slight response to the submissions made before you. The state is very much respectful of the submissions made by counsel. Unfortunately, issues to do with breach of fundamental rights are a reserve of the High Court as per Article 23 of the Constitution. So it's best, Your Honor, that they lay their arguments before the High Court. Unfortunately, the court may not be able to entertain the issues raised. Second, Your Honor, that the state in bringing these charges, Your Honor, is in line with Article 57 and Article 6. They're just discharging our mandate. And noting, Your Honor, there's no application that has been brought before you laying claim that the charges before you are not proper. And third, Your Honor, there have been issues raised concerning abduction. And I took cognizance of the police to make a report. But Your Honor, the state is acting in the best interest of justice. Specifically, ODPP is. That will be all.
the accused before court today is appearing for plea. The defense team are raising a number of issues. First is the manner in which the accused person was arrested. We submitted that High Court had issued directives in the manner in which the police should manage the protest. That the police must always be in full gear, that they should not cover their names and number plates should also be labeled. It was submitted that the police officers were effecting arrests of the High Court orders issued by Justice Bahati and Justice Mugambi. I have considered those issues, and they are largely related to breach of fundamental rights. There are indications that the actions by the police officers are contrary to the orders issued by the higher courts. In short, they are submitting that the orders issued by the High Court were disobeyed. What recourse then is available under the circumstances where orders of the High Court were infringed? The parties are at liberty under the law to file cases for breach of fundamental rights and seek damages where possible. And this one is in the High Court. In the alternative, the parties can also move to the court those orders and cite parties for flouting the orders. That is an order for conduct. There is another issue relating to the charge as presented before this court, and it is whether it is the accused persons or the police officers who obstructed the road. In my view, that issue is a trial issue to be handled at appropriate time, not this stage. And lastly, there is the issue of bond. The state is not opposed to it. There are no compelling reasons given to deny the accused bond. I agree with the submissions made by defense counsels present that it should be reasonable. I admit the accused before this court to a surety bond of Kenya shillings 10,000, in the alternative, cash bail of 2,000. The case will be mentioned on the 22nd of July for pre-trials.
Page 126, James Broadcasting.
I think it's over.
Close the case.
Republic of Kenya, jointly with others not before court, unlawfully obstructed operation of vehicles along the said Harambee Avenue by barricading the said road using stones, thereby obstructing free flow of traffic. True or false, number one?
False.
You know, we are talking for this, the issue of shoes. I was hoping they were just enough.
You said that maybe it is part of exhibit.
Stones.
And maybe that's an issue we can deal with it during the trial stage. If they're retaining it as exhibit, we will deal with it.
I'm hoping inside it along Harambee.
Same terms, each of the accused persons will be released on a surety bond of 10,000, alternative cash bail of 2,000, till 2nd of July for pre-trials. That's all.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. May God bless you.
Now,
and Your Honor, if any other is brought before you, you can adopt the same. Even in the future, Your Honor.
we don't want to be speculative.
Thank you.
We can now proceed to the rest of the hearings.
Okay.